Today, we are going to be harvesting some worm castings from my worm compost bin. So let me show you what it looks like. This is the worm bin 360, and I have 4 trays stacked. Let me show you what I have on each of the trays. I add this other layer just to keep the bugs out. As you can see, there's holes on the bottom, and this is so that the worms can climb from each layer of the tray. This is the second layer of my worm bin, and as you can see, all of this is shredded cardboard. Little pieces of food, corn, I think it's like a dried plum. If you get grossed out by worms, you probably don't want to watch this. So the reason for all of this cardboard is because they like carbon. So there always has to be a mix of carbon and nitrogen, which comes from the food. Whenever I'm cooking and I have scraps, I will throw it in here, or I will put it in a little Ziploc bag in a freezer. When most of the food is gone, I will take the frozen food scraps and put it in here. I just love the idea of not wasting anything. It's reciprocal. So after you eat it, give it to the worms, and the worms give you castings, and you can use that for your garden. Let me kind of just show you. There's some worms here. I don't know if you could see. This brown dirt-looking material is the castings. They poop out the food that they digest, and it turns into this really rich nutrient, perfect for the garden. That's what the top layer looks like. This is where all the live worms are. So this is tray number 3. This is what we're gonna be harvesting today. We're just gonna sift the worm castings. There's still some big food particles or worms in here that we don't want to include in our castings. So I'm just going to shake it. I see some worms here that I'm going to put back into the tray. If I see any worm cocoons, I don't want to collect that into my castings. I'm going to put back into the feeding tray. And if you're curious what a worm cocoon looks like, this is what it looks like. It looks like a miniature balloon. So this is how much casting we have for this harvest, and I'll use this throughout the next few months for my garden. So that should be good enough for the feeding. We'll just cover it back up, and the worms will munch on that. So there we go. That is how we harvest worm castings from our worm bin. Hope you guys enjoyed.